Well, students, we're gonna work on some fun pumpkins today. We read we're 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate, so I thought it'd be fun for us to design our own. You can definitely take some ideas from the book, but you can come up with your own ideas too. So if I want to add some fun shapes for the eyes, if I want to have him looking over this way, so I'm gonna have some shapes inside. Maybe he's just gonna have like a simple circle nose, and he's gonna be like he's gonna be a happy, smiling pumpkin. So if I want to leave some of them pretty simple, but if I want to make some of them a little bit more detailed, like maybe this guy, a lot of the pumpkins were kind of looking like their eyes were closed, and he's gonna be maybe singing along. And then I think this guy, since he's up front, I'm gonna give him a little more detail. I'm gonna go with square eyes for this guy, with some circles inside. And I'm just thinking about how lines help us make shapes. So I can use kind of a triangle shape for this one, maybe some rectangles for some eyebrows. And I'm gonna give this guy also a smile, but I'm gonna give him some teeth. And then I think this one, sometimes those eyes can be looking like they're closed if they're turned the other way too. I'm gonna give him kind of an oval nose with some circles. And I'm gonna give him more of an oval maybe this way, with some teeth and maybe a tongue. So you're gonna design your pumpkins, and then I'm gonna give him just some circle eyes, but I think I'm gonna have some squares inside. Sometimes pumpkins might have noses, sometimes they might not, depending on how you want to design them. So I think I'm gonna give him some rectangle teeth. Okay. Once you have your pumpkin faces drawn, then you can, I do think it works well to use either brown or red just to outline these, because then these lines usually will stand out more when we color the pumpkin around them, so they don't just disappear. So outline those. When this is done, then I'm gonna start using red, orange, and yellow, maybe even some white, to color in my pumpkins, just like we did when we did pumpkins from observation using those colors. Now, when I do these, one of the cool things about the book was they did have lines on them so that they look like they're round. And these lines you can see are not going on the face, they're going around the mouth, around the eyes. But this will just help the pumpkins look like they're round. I'm gonna get those lines in there with my red. And then I'm going to use my orange and my yellow. So if I use orange here next to the red, it's gonna create a good mix. I'm going pretty fast because I want you guys to have more work time, but you do not have to color it this quickly. So once I have my orange done, then we'll put some yellow on it. So we'll go to the yellow. and brighten those pumpkins up. If you choose to use black, make black your last color, because if you use black first, it can smear into the yellow, smear into the orange, and make it look really dirty. So if you do want to use black for some of the details on the eyes or the nose or the mouth, which I'm going to do in a minute, use that color last. So here, have those guys done. Now, let's use a little bit of black. So if I want to make his mouth look like it's open or giving some details to the eyes, please do that after the other colors. And then we'll do that here and here. I want to keep his teeth white, so I'm going to color around those. Now that I have those done, I want to do my stems, so I think I'm going to use a dark green for this one, and then I'm going to use a lighter green, but you could use brown too. We did that on our stems. So I think I'm going to use a lighter green for the top, kind of like the book. When you have all of this done, then I would like you to do a background. So I have my pumpkins here. I think that I'm just going to do maybe a fun hill. And I'm gonna color that in with some green, but I'm not gonna do it all the same green. I might use a little bit of this green. And then I think I'm gonna use some of this green right behind my pumpkins. And then I might switch back to this green behind the gate. And I love using just kind of a zigzag line like this, because then I can just overlap them from one green to the next. And I'll go with this one to this one. Let's do this one first, because I've got 3 greens in my box. Back to this one. I might take a little bit of brown for my gate. And I think since mixing is looking so good on my grass, I'm gonna do a little bit of a lighter brown, and maybe even a little bit of gray on here too. As I'm working on stuff, I'm usually thinking about what could I do for my sky. If I wanted to do, I do like how a lot of the pictures in the book had a nighttime sky. So I might do, let's add a little bit of gray to this, but I might do some wind if you wanted to do stars or a moon. So I'm gonna do, I think I wanna do a moon, and I'm gonna do it with a little bit of gray, and I'm gonna have it be a nice big happy moon, kind of like the pumpkins. And I'm gonna give it some details with like a few little dots or craters or something on it. I'm gonna make it look like he's shining in the sky with some of these dashed or broken lines. And then if I want to do some fun stars, maybe I'm going to do some stars that are shining in the sky. I could do some like this, maybe some could be like this. Maybe some could be like this. Coming up with different kind of fun ways to do stars and make them look like they're shining and really bright. Another thing that I love to do in my sky is a little bit of wind, so I might take some of this and make some wind that goes around in my sky and swirling around. I've had some students where they might want to do a little bit of a few clouds maybe, or maybe a witch that's flying by on a broom. Whatever you'd like to put in your sky. And then once you have your sky drawn, and I think that I'm gonna add some blue, but I loved how the book had some blue in the sky, but it also had purple in the sky to make it look like a nighttime sky. So right now it looks like a daytime sky, which is fine. But if I wanna make it look more like a nighttime sky, maybe put a darker blue in here. And then I'm gonna put some purple in my sky. Take out my purple. Go around my pumpkins. Make that look more like a nighttime sky, right down to the grass. So if you get all of this done, I could end up coming back here and adding a little bit of a brighter color to my, so we'll just pretend that's done. I still want to color it a little bit more, but I'm noticing that maybe my stars could be brighter if I put some yellow by them to make my moon look brighter. If I put some yellow by it, make my stars look a little brighter too. Make my moon stand out as like a golden moon in the sky. And then I think I want this wind to stand out more too. So I'm always thinking about the next bit of ideas, and I'm always adding black as my last color because I didn't want to smear into my lighter colors. And then I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna say, okay, well, this green didn't get filled in yet, so gotta color that in here down by the gate. Even this down here and on this side. And we'll use this too. Let's have fun designing these pumpkins today. And doing some great color mixing and using our imagination.